Nehemiah is given a collapsed city, hostile opposition, and 52 days. He has no permanent staff. The walls of Jerusalem have been destroyed for over a century. Sanballat, Tobiah, and Geshem are running active interference, mocking, threatening, and eventually plotting assassination. The population he is rebuilding for is so economically distressed that half of them are selling their children into debt servitude. He finishes in 52 days. Nehemiah 6:15. So the wall was completed on the 25th of Elul in 52 days. Nehemiah 6:16. When all our enemies heard about this, all the surrounding nations were afraid and lost their self-confidence because they realized that this work had been done with the help of our God. This is the CFO analysis nobody teaches in personal finance, not Solomon's income statement, the turnaround. By the end of this video, you will have the 5 specific financial decisions Nehemiah makes and the framework they create for any household rebuilding something from nothing. Decision 1. Survey before spending. Nehemiah arrives in Jerusalem with the king's authorization, the king's timber, the king's letters. More resources than this project has seen in a century, and for 3 days he does nothing. Then, at night, with a small group and no announcement, Nehemiah 2:12, I set out during the night with a few men. I had not told anyone what my God had put in my heart to do for Jerusalem. He rides the full perimeter of the destroyed walls alone. He surveys every collapsed section. He counts the damage. He assesses the actual state of the project before committing a single resource to a plan. The officials did not know where I had gone or what I was doing because as yet I had told no one. The survey is complete before the announcement. The diagnosis precedes the declaration. Proverbs 21:5, wisdom literature. The plans of the diligent lead to profit, but haste leads to poverty. Nehemiah is the most prepared leader in the turnaround, not because he had the most resources, but because he looked at the actual situation before he said a word. Decision 2. Finance the project without creating debt. Artaxerxes authorizes the mission and provides letters of passage and a warrant for timber from the royal forest, Nehemiah 2:7-8. A grant, not a loan. The actual labor is voluntary. Nehemiah 3 documents the rebuild section by section, family by family, guild by guild. Priests, goldsmiths, perfume makers, merchants, each takes a section. Nobody is conscripted. There is no parallel to Solomon's forced labor that built his palace and created the resentment that exploded in the succession crisis. The project creates no debt obligations on the community it is rebuilding. The contrast matters. Solomon's build was spectacular, built on compelled labor, and left resentment that split the kingdom under his son. Nehemiah's build is modest by comparison, zero debt, and leaves the community's capacity intact. The funding model shapes what you build and whether what you build survives you. Decision 3. Address injustice mid-project. Q. What does Nehemiah do when predatory lending is discovered operating inside the project perimeter, and why does he stop the project to address it? Decision 3. Shut down the predatory lending operation mid-project. This is the decision that distinguishes Nehemiah from every project manager in Scripture. Nehemiah 5:1-5, the wealthy Israelites are lending to the poor at interest, taking their land as collateral, forcing children into debt servitude when loans cannot be repaid. Some of them are presumably working alongside the poor on the wall. Nehemiah stops the project and convenes an assembly. You are charging your own people interest. He calls out the officials directly. He points out that his team has been buying back Israelites sold into slavery, and these officials are selling them back into servitude within the community. The officials go silent. Nehemiah demands immediate restitution. Return the fields, the vineyards, the houses. Cancel the interest. It happens that day. Nehemiah 5:12-13. Then the project resumes. The leader rebuilding the city refuses to allow the city to be dismantled from within while the walls go up on the outside. Mission integrity inside the project perimeter, even at the cost of stopping the project. Decision 4. Refuse personal enrichment at the community's expense. Nehemiah 5:14-18. Unlike the former governors, my predecessors, I and my brothers did not eat the food allotted to the governor. Out of reverence for God, I did not act like that. He is legally entitled to the allowance. He refuses it because the community cannot afford to fund his table while they are rebuilding the walls. 150 leaders eat at his table daily at his personal expense. His personal enrichment and the project's success are in direct tension during a crisis. He resolves that tension in the direction of the mission. Luke 22:26, narrative teaching, the greatest among you should be like the youngest, and the one who rules like the one who serves. Nehemiah 5 is that verse in operational form. Decision 5, complete, 52 days, full perimeter, every gate, every section, every tower. 6 opposition tactics, mockery, military threat, internal discouragement, a peace meeting that was a trap, a false accusation letter campaign, and a hired prophet trying to frighten Nehemiah into hiding in the temple. Nehemiah's response to each, continue. Nehemiah 6:3, I am carrying on a great project and cannot go down. The speed of completion was itself a message. The enemies recognized it. They realized that this work had been done with the help of our God. The 5 decisions form a complete financial leadership framework. 1. Survey accurately before committing resources. 2. Fund without creating debt obligations on the community. 3. Address injustice inside the project perimeter, even at the cost of stopping. 4. Refuse personal enrichment at the community's expense. 5. Complete. Each of the 5 decisions maps to a specific financial behavior. Survey before spending, knowing the actual condition of every account, every balance, every rate before making any significant financial decision. Proverbs 27:23. Nehemiah's night survey as personal financial audit. Fund without debt, waiting to build until it can be funded from resources rather than from obligations not yet met. The EP18 reserve as the foundation for any significant financial commitment. Address injustice inside the perimeter, the financial relationships within the household's own community. Family debts, lending arrangements, cosign obligations are subject to the same integrity applied externally. EP22's cosigning framework, EP30's Jubilee relational practice. Refuse personal enrichment at the community's expense. The household's financial expansion during a season of community distress creates a different kind of obligation. Generosity first. 1 Corinthians 16:2, not from surplus. Complete. The household that starts the EP20 system, the debt sequence, the investment framework, and finishes it. The number of households with good financial plans that never reach completion exceeds the number with no plan at all. Read Nehemiah 5 today, not the wall rebuild. Chapter 5, the predatory lending chapter that almost never gets preached. Read it alongside one question. Is there a financial relationship inside my own community, family, friends, church, where I am benefiting from someone's distress in a way Nehemiah would have stopped the project to address? Not abstract, specific. Nehemiah surveyed before he spoke. He addressed the problem before he resumed. He refused personal gain throughout. The wall went up in 52 days, not because the conditions were favorable, because the decisions were right. Solomon, spectacular resources, mission drift, compliance failure, kingdom lost. Nehemiah, minimal resources, mission clarity, 52 days. Same book, 2 completely different financial postures. The next video turns the lens on the household directly when the framework is tested by organized external opposition to everything you are building. What does the text say about that? That is the next video. It is queued up right now.